Okay, so today I want to talk about accepting what's available. Okay, so and this goes out to anybody who may be skeptical or whatever. As I said before, I live in Louisville, Kentucky. We have 450 AA meetings here. Okay, and that's what's available. Okay, I know there won't be a stigma there, like there is in NA, as far as me being on Suboxone, and as a caveat here, or an aside rather. The Suboxone, this morning I woke up, no withdrawal symptoms. I felt good last night. I was able to wake up and smoke a cigarette this morning, so this is day 20. Accepting what's available. I just got done doing yoga, and that's what made this topic come to mind. As I said, I'm a Taoist, so I would much prefer to do Tai Chi and Qigong, right? But that's not available here. Okay, there's no community, there's no support, there's no teacher that I could go to. We do have a Taoist Tai Chi society here, but it's just not very big. Okay, and there's a lot of Buddhist temples here, there's a lot of yoga here. So I'm alternating between the Qigong that I want to do and yoga, okay, because that's what's available. And it's the same thing with Alcoholics Anonymous. That's what's available. And I had to take what's available with all of the desperation of a drowning man, you know, because I was exhausted. And it's just like that Tool album and song Undertow, you know, like the current was just pulling me down. The current's mouth below me was dragging me away, man, and I had been fighting it for years on my own. And I was exhausted. I was tired. It was either reach out for some help or drown. And so I reached out to AA because I've seen it work for other people. And it's working for me. I've got a routine I do every day. I wake up, I pray, meditate, I visualize what my day is going to be like. I kind of reflect on some things from yesterday. I do my reading and my daily reflections, as I said. And I do yoga or Qigong. I drink coffee. I take my Suboxone. And I go to meetings. So yesterday I went to 3 meetings, okay? All open discussions, because I like open discussions. My first time through I went to nothing but speaker meetings, and I didn't really get anything out of it. I can't remember hardly nothing. I didn't really learn anything, let me put it that way. So in these open discussion meetings, you know, I thrive in a classroom setting, and I really like to participate. I feel more comfortable engaging that way. It's hard for me to walk up and introduce myself to people, and so by going to these discussion meetings and really adding something to them, just speaking honestly, and you know, I've studied spirituality since I was 14, and so it's one of my something I'm very interested in. I really enjoy it, so I get a lot out of these big book studies and discussion meetings, and I have a lot to add. So usually what I do is I go in there and I listen for a while, and when I hear something that somebody says and I feel in my heart that I need to say something, I say it. I just say it without fear or hesitation. And well, there's fear and hesitation there, but I overcome that. Let me put it that way. And what that's done for me is the past few meetings I've went to, people have begun to recognize me, notice me, come up and talk to me, acknowledge me, you know, and give me positive attention, which feels great, man. It feels really good. You know, old timers and new timers. I quoted Young at a meeting about how the things that we need the most are found in the places that we least want to look. And you know, the last place I want to be is at an AA meeting, but that's where I go every day. Somebody told me it's a great place to go and get unconditional love, and I believe that. And so I had a guy who had 6 or 7 years come up to me and asked me to write that down for him, you know, and it felt good. And with no pride or ego, it felt good, because I was just transmitting something that I had gotten from somebody else. And also, newcomers come up to me, you know, they see me around. Some of them went through detox with me at Centerstone, and they see me still around, and it gives them hope, and it encourages them to keep coming because they see that it's working for somebody else who's got around the same amount of time they do, maybe less time than them, maybe more. So it's working for me, and I'm just doing it my way. I'm not forcing myself to be too uncomfortable. Um, and after I go to these meetings and I share and I listen, I really do get something out of it. And repetition, repetition, repetition. By having this routine, by going to these meetings every day and doing everything I do when I wake up and calling my support group, um, it's basically the same thing I did when I was using, man. Getting up and calling people to try to find money, and then calling the dope man, and waiting on him or going to meet him or whatever. And I basically take that same energy and I just direct it towards something positive, and I get the same satisfaction out of it. I get more satisfaction out of it because there's not the fear, the anxiety, the withdrawals. All that is gone, okay? And I'm just left with nothing but the opportunity to work on myself, and that's what this is all about. It's about self-improvement, okay, and progress. You have to be humble and see that others have something that you don't have, something that you want, and you have to follow their path. This is a new path, and you have to be willing to follow somebody else, and you have to be willing to accept help. Again, I reiterate, with the desperation of a drowning man, if you know that you're going to die or end up in prison or whatever, and you really believe that, then you're going to have to, what you're going to have to do is accept some help from people. And it doesn't really matter who those people are. It doesn't matter if you have a problem with God. Let me address the skeptics real quick. All I know is that it works. I'm not going to get into a debate about God. I used to be an atheist, and that held me back from this program. All you have to be willing to believe is that there is a power greater than you, something else. You can call that a creative intelligence of the universe, just a consciousness in and of itself. It can be AA as a whole. It can be an abstract, any abstract idea, anything greater than you, anything outside of yourself that you can humble yourself before and look to guide you. If you're a determinist, it can be that whole thing, whatever, okay? Whatever works for you. The important thing is to follow the spiritual path and to get a routine. And it works for me. I'm happy today. I feel good. Let's see if I missed anything. No, that's about it. Like I said, I feel stable on my Suboxone now. I'm going to talk to my doctor about how this taper works. I don't want to do it too quick if it's going to leave me feeling bad, but I'm ready to go ahead and get off of the Suboxone as soon as I can, however long it may be, 6 months. I don't really want to go a full year on it. I don't think I need to. I think within 90 days I'll be ready to taper. I'm at day 20. So it's really working for me, man, and it can work for you too. And it's changed my whole attitude and outlook on life, and that's what it's all about. And you're gonna have people that are gonna think that you're phony and all kinds of stuff like that. And it doesn't matter what other people think. You have to let that shit go. And just really get excited about it and do what you feel in your gut, in your heart. I can't emphasize that enough. Just that's what works for me anyway. And I'm getting ready to get up here and go to a meeting that I got invited to yesterday by a guy who was sharing a big book study, who really encouraged me and liked what I had to say, and encouraged me to keep coming back to that meeting. He wanted me to come to this other meeting he goes to. So that's what I'm going to do for the day, and I will talk to you people tomorrow. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. I'll answer all the comments that I get notified for. I don't get notified for everything. So, but yeah, if you have any questions for me, I'm more than willing to answer those. God bless. I love you all. Have a good day.